Alright guys, let's talk about what's going to happen if you continue to let the protesters do what they want, and when the cops come in to try to stop them, you start blaming the cops. That's the mayor they're booing.
Booing coming from Metro police officers today. The scene from cell phone video at 3 this afternoon. Who they booing? Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher after he showed up to
And then
talk
they
to the
all
officers
walk out.
arriving for the night shift. The officers who were on the job during the protest time. But the video shows their reaction, not happy with the mayor, and most of them walking out. I talked to FOP President Ryan Nichols tonight, who says many on the force feel the mayor hasn't supported them in the past and isn't supporting them now.
We're in night 7 of a protest, and this is the first time that the mayor, who's the leader of our city and this police department, has given his officers the time of day to even come speak to them. They see that as a direct slap in their face.
Nichols says most.
It doesn't help with the fact that you're letting the protesters, and we need to stop calling them protesters. Even the police are being nice and calling them protesters. These idiots that are looting and rioting, we're letting them create the narrative of what is good and what is bad, and what's right and what is wrong. Like I saw an article today, it's like the police are rioting. We need to talk about this. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. We haven't said anything about any of these other people actually being rioters, but now it's the police. Like, the police haven't burned anything down.
The officers left, but some did stay and talk to the mayor and hear him out. Now, late today, the mayor did send us this statement when he was asked about the walkout. He says they are suffering insults and assaults from people they are working to protect. They are
Right.
worried.
So your job is to go out there and force the rule of law, and that rule of law is in place to keep everyone safe, right? That's what it's here for. We don't let people speed or drive on the sidewalk. We don't let you drive around to shoot your gun up in the air because bullets come down. You know what I mean? Or you just shoot them at people. All that crazy shit. We don't let you start fires in certain areas without certain, restrictions, so you don't burn other things down and it doesn't catch fire and burn down who knows what. And that's the reason why. And if you chastise the police force and law enforcement for doing their job, they're gonna quit.
For their families and this city. They are frustrated, and some of them expressed that frustration today. The mayor saying, I absolutely respect that. That doesn't change my appreciation of the work they're doing. As I've expressed time and time again, they have a very difficult job. I hope our residents will embrace our police officers as guardians. I know that's how the vast majority view their role.
Here's the problem. If that's how you feel, Mr. Mayor, then why are you not acting on behalf of your police force? Alright, now let's look at this too. This I have a problem with. This is from Forbes. I just grabbed one that was up there in the Google search. The old man who got pushed over in Buffalo and hit his head and started bleeding from the ear. All the police from the riot unit, they all resigned. Now, let me be very clear before we read through this article, because it states it, but it states it further, and there's some problems with this article. They didn't resign from the police force, they resigned from the riot unit. So now, if riots happen, they're like, oh, we're not responding, we're just regular police. Okay, so all 57 members of the Buffalo Police Department's emergency response team, okay, I'm looking at right, the emergency response team, my bad, resigned Friday from the unit in an apparent show of support for two officers who were suspended without pay for after being filmed pushing a 75-year-old man to the ground Thursday night. Excuse me. Okay, so here's where I have a problem. They start talking about these are the key facts. So these are the things that they really want to pound in your head as being true, right? So, 1. Friday afternoon, multiple outlets began reporting that the entire emergency response team, a total of 57 officers, resigned from their tactical unit to display solidarity with two suspended officers. Okay, true. The president of the union representing Buffalo police officers later confirmed that the entire emergency response team had resigned. The whole team. They don't say that here. They just say 57. So it doesn't make it seem like all of them did it. So like maybe there's not 100% support when it seems that there is. Okay. This all stemmed from an encounter between police and an apparent protester Thursday evening shortly after Buffalo's curfew began that was filmed. The video quickly went viral Thursday night. Let's be very clear about what we just read. This all stemmed from an encounter between police and an apparent protester Thursday evening after, even though they're using this adjective, shortly still after Buffalo's curfew began. What does curfew mean? You're not supposed to be out. You're 75 years old. You're either retarded, like you seriously have some type of mental condition that prevents you from being able to understand the things that you're being told, and you don't get what's going on, and you shouldn't be out here, or you do understand and you've just decided that you're going to ignore the things that you're being told. So you're the only person responsible for being out here. The video shows a cluster of police officers in riot gear walking across Niagara Square when an elderly man approached and tried to talk with the officers. I'm sorry, we don't know what he was trying to do. We do know that the officers were walking and telling people to disperse and to go home because it's after curfew, and he decided to approach them. Did he not? He can see. What is he, so old that he can't see how many people they are and how well armed they are? Is he too old that he can't hear? Again, if those are the cases, why are you out in a protest? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Someone can be heard shouting, push him back. One officer raises his baton over the man while another pushes the man's chest. Now, raises his baton over the man while these, so like they're going, so I pulled up the video. Look how tall this man is. Do you see anybody raise their baton while he's being pushed? Nobody raised the baton over this man. When you blatantly lie to me, you lose all credibility, Forbes. Maybe it's just a semantic uh, error on your part and you guys used the wrong words, but I think you specifically did this to make the reader think that he raised it with one hand up above in a striking position, which is not the truth. You're being really shisty with this sentence. I don't like that. The 75-year-old man, later identified as Martin Gugino, however, who cares, falls to the ground backwards and lies apparently unresponsive as a pool of blood is seen slowly forming under his head. Yes. The Buffalo Police Department's initial statement was that one person was injured when he tripped and fell in a skirmish between police and protesters. However, after the video started spreading, Police Commissioner Brian Lockwood suspended the officers and opened an investigation. So, I'm going to put it at half speed. All right. So, he took a step back. Okay, actually, we're gonna have to slow it down even more. Right. Okay, so he takes a half step back. Before he sees them coming, he starts taking another step back. When he's pushed, he takes 1, 2, 3, and falls. So he did trip. He's old and he cannot keep his balance. He tripped because he was pushed, but he did trip. So it's not like what the officer or it's not like this was false, right? He did trip. Again, he shouldn't be out there. He's breaking curfew. The emergency response team members have not quit the police department, but have stepped down from the tactical unit, according to the Buffalo News sources. According to Buffalo Police Benevolent Association President John Evans, the two suspended officers were merely following directives, and that the 75-year-old man slipped. Our position is that these officers simply following orders from Deputy Police Commissioner Joseph Gramaglia, maybe? I don't know, to clear the square, said Evans. It doesn't specify clear the square of men 50 and under or 15 to 40. They were simply doing their job. I don't know how much contact was made. He did slip in my estimation. He fell backwards. As of late Friday afternoon, the top message on Buffalo's police union webpage reads, "These guys did nothing but do what they were ordered to do. This is disgusting." I agree. I'm not going to read your tangent. The casual cruelty demonstrated by Buffalo police officers tonight is gut-wrenching and unacceptable, said the New York Civil Liberties Union via a statement Thursday night. You guys are so stupid. Look, what's going to happen is, hey, let me tell you, all you lefties, this is all the sheeples that watch, and you all hate me. I love it. You guys are great. You're my biggest haters, and I love you. If the police decide that they're not going to work, you're going to have to deal with people like me who realize that they're able to get away with the things and not have any rule of law. The rest of us that are not out and rioting and burning things down, we're not doing that because we respect the rule of law. But as soon as we don't have the safety of the rule of law, we become much, much worse than you. And that's what you don't realize, is that we have control over the decisions that we make, which is why we work within the rule of law. But as soon as you take all the cops away, okay, realize that that means you take all the rules away from me, and I no longer have to follow any rules. Just keep that in mind. Alright, we'll see you in the next one, guys.